So the way I often write my novels is with an outline that I follow about 70% of the time. What I'll do is I usually start out with a general idea of what I want to do for a story, and then kind of discovery write my first act, just getting to know my characters, their backstories, the general plot, and I'll go back and make a few revisions basically, just really trying to get that first act solidified. So after that, I'll plot the rest of my story out, usually on that whiteboard that you can see up in the corner there of my office. But leaving about 30% or so of the story open for me to make changes. So I have an idea of where the story's going and where it's going to end, but there's enough kind of freedom there if I want to make adjustments, add in subplots, or make alterations, or perhaps make the story a little bit longer. What this does is it keeps things feeling organic, so I don't have to necessarily cram my characters into these sort of events. It leaves things open basically where, in my head, when I plot things out, a story might go one way, but all of a sudden, when you write it, there's a whole underbelly of things you could explore, things that you could go deeper with, certain character motivations you could find. And just, you tend to find as well that stories don't necessarily get tied up as nicely as you plot them out. So if it starts to get messy, sometimes it's better to kind of go forward with the mess, go a little bit further, and then kind of write your way to fixing it rather than just abruptly making changes or cutting it off. The tale grows with the telling, to quote George R. R. Martin. And this is one of those days where I'm very glad that I do keep kind of a less rigid structure. As I was writing, I an idea came to me basically to sort of expand one of my subplots a little bit more. That will help tie up things a bit more coming up in the third act. So I ended up going in today basically just writing my original section that I was going to write, and then started adding in some newer details to kind of expand the subplot. So it's gonna push my goal of getting the second act basically finished from my intention was to get it done probably by like tomorrow to probably maybe closer to midweek. It's going to take me a little bit, maybe an extra section or two I've got to include to kind of reinforce this new concept. So is what it is, but still glad I got 505 words done today. So definitely happy I've been sticking with this and keeping the progress going forward.